Hello everyone, this is Mark Fuhrman with Ping Pong Slam, which is my entry for Board Game Geek's 9-card Nanogame Contest in 2021. Today I am going to present to you the rules, or at least a quick overview of the rules for Ping Pong Slam. And it's a 2-player game, but I'm going to hopefully give you an overview of the solo mode that I've got going on as well. And that will be at the end of the video. So, without further ado, Ping Pong Slam. Alright, so in this game, 2 players will be sitting across from each other, and there is a deck of 7 shot cards. They are front and back. And these shot cards will be laid out in a line, and players will be analyzing as fast as they can. This is a speed pattern recognition game. Using the rules, they'll be analyzing these cards and determining which card is the offending card, it's known as, or the card that will drop the ball, the ping pong ball. So there's no real physical component for the ping pong ball, but players will be using their imagination, just picturing in their minds that the ball will be bouncing between the cards, and at some point it's going to get dropped, and so the players want to be the first to recognize that, grab the card, and if they're right, they score a point. If they're wrong, their opponent scores a point. So you got to be careful. So, like I said, there's a set of rules that go along with how the ping pong ball moves, etc. But if you're uncomfortable playing the full rule set, or if it's a little too complex for learning purposes, that's fine. I suggest a way to introduce it gradually in the rules. So I'll just quick fly through them and give you a few examples here. So to start off, the ball is going to be traveling on one of 2 sides of the card. So you got top side of the card, bottom of the side of the card. Whoever's serving, basically whoever deals out the cards, their bottom side is called the server side. So the ball will start in the server's court, and generally we'll be traveling along that one unless it changes courts using one of these cross shots here with the X's. So ball will start on the very left as soon as the server has laid that card out there, and yells out ping pong. Then both players can analyze the cards. So they follow the distance of the card, the shot value, which is the number in the corner. And on a serve only, you're going to add the ping pong balls on the paddle. That's kind of a serve boost. So to start with, this card would serve 1 plus 2 more. The ball would travel 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. Now it's always going to change direction, so it's going to go right, then left, right, left, right, left. So once it hits this card, we got to figure out where it's bouncing from here. Well, this card is going to make it change lanes, which is fine. Any paddle that you see in the middle of the card, kind of on the center line, will hit a ball that's in either court. But if the paddle is in one court or the other, it may or may not hit the ball unless it's in the right court. So this card is going to hit the ball back 2 spaces to the left, but it's also changing court, so it's hitting it 2 spaces onto this court here. Fortunately, this paddle is in the right place, so this is going to hit the ball 4 spaces to the right. However, since it's a backspin shot that's kind of loop-de-loop here, you're always going to subtract 1 from that value. So 4 minus 1 would actually only carry the ball 1, 2, 3 spaces. So the ball, if you can imagine, is now on this card, and now it's going to be hit by this power shot. So the power shot with the big arrows and triangles is going to hit the ball back to the left again. 3 plus however many power shots are out in the entire line at the moment. So right now we got this one, and here's a power shot here. So instead of just hitting 3, this power shot's going to hit the ball 3, 4, 5. So hitting this 5 to the left, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 would be off the table, as we say. There is no card there. And so that is the point at which the ball drops. And the card that made it drop was this power shot. It hit it too far. So the goal is for players to figure that out much faster than I just explained it to you. They'll grab the card. Like I said before, if they're right, they'll take a point. If they're wrong, they give their opponent a point. Then they shuffle the cards. The other player will then be the server, and they'll serve from their left. So if the other player was the server, then they'd start over here and from my right, or our right at this point. All right, so that's just a really quick overview. There's a reference card with the different kinds of shots, the serve boosts, and then on the back it shows you the rules for what will make an offending card. So there's a few different rules. If you hit the ball off the table, if it's the closest card to the net, so we have a net card here, when the ball goes into a loop. So there will be a few situations where you might have it hit into a card and it's going back and forth in an infinite loop. So in that case, whichever card is the closest to the net will be the offending card. Also, if the paddle misses the shot because the paddle was in the wrong court, so at the beginning of here, if this had been reversed like this, when the ball changes court, it's going here. Well, this card failed to return the shot, so this card would be the offending card. And last but not least, backspins also have an extra rule. If a backspin, let's see, if a backspin ever hits the shot across the net, so if this was hitting the ball to the right, it'd go 3 spaces to the right, so it crosses the net. Backspins are not powerful enough to go over a net, so the backspin will drop the shot. So that's how you play. Best to 11 wins, and I'll also go over the solo mode here. Alright, so for the solo mode I actually have 2 different variants. One is kind of a time trial. Both of these I would recommend you have a stopwatch or a timer app handy to use. So the time trial is basically you set a stopwatch and you deal out a line of cards and you try to solve as many of the puzzles as you can in 1 minute. So I'll set it for 1 minute, try to solve one, and I'll pause it once I think I grab the card. I'll double check my work. If I got it right, I'll take a point. If I got it wrong, I just don't receive a point. I wasted time. So you'll keep, after you're done solving that one, you kind of play the line from the other side as if this side served it, then you'll flip the cards over, etc. So you'll play as many puzzles as you can, hoping to get as many right as you can in 1 minute. The other mode is a bit of a different one. I call it the longest volley, and in that mode you're kind of going to be spending, here let's make this a little more easier to see. You're going to kind of be spending your points to rearrange cards and continue to keep the ball going as far as you can to the right and past the end of the line. And when you get past the end of the line, you'll kind of move the line farther. So let's just try that here. How that works is you start with 3 points. You shuffle the cards and you deal out 3 of them in the center and both ends of the line. So let's say I dealt out these 3 here, and then you set your timer for 30 seconds this time, and once your timer's going, you have 30 seconds to decide how you want to rearrange these 4 cards. And so let's just say I picked this. It's probably not going to work out well for me, just because that was random. But after the 30 seconds are over, now there's no timer for the rest of the game. And you start, and you follow the ball. So this one's going to go 2 plus 1 for the shot boost. That's 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3. Well, this one's going to keep going 3 back and forth amongst these two cards. So at any point in the game, you can pause where the ball is at. So I'm just going to pause it here. And then you can spend your points to rearrange things. So I'll spend 1 point. And let's see. Man, I don't have such a good arrangement here. I guess I'm going to swap these two. So that costs 1 point to swap the cards. So the ball... Oh, you know what? My bad. This will only go 3 on the serve. After the serve, the balls don't count. So these only count for the serves. So it would have gone 3 to the right, back 3, and then only 2. Well, silly me, I forgot that. So let's say it goes 3 to the right here. Now it changes court and goes 2 to the left here. Now it's going to go 3 plus 1, 2. So that's 5 to the right from this power shot. So traveling 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's going to go 1 to the left here. And if it does, we're going to drop it. So we're going to pause the ball there again. Spend a point. Down to 1 point. And we're going to rotate this card. So you can never flip a card, but you can rotate it. So it's up in the top court here, going 1 to the left. This power shot is now going to hit it 1 plus 2 more for the power shot symbols. That's 3 to the right. So it'll go 1, and then it'll actually go 2 cards off the table. So when that happens, you take 2 times the number of points that you hit it per card. So since I went 2 cards off the table, I'm going to take 4 points, hitting me up to 5 here. And then I got to decide if I'm going to stop. It's a little bit of a push your luck. If I stop, then I'm done. I got 5 points. But if I go, I'm going to flip. I'll do this so the camera can see. I'm going to flip the card like a book to the end of the line for each card that I went past the line. So I went 2 cards past the end, so I'm going to flip 2 cards. And then I discard the last card. So kind of form a discard pile, and your line's going to get shorter. So now you'll remember I hit the ball over here, so now this card is going to return it 4 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to oh, this is perfect. I'm going to spend 1 point to spin this car. So when this hits it 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, this will hit 3 to the right because of the backspin. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that wasn't perfect. I don't know what I was looking at. So I spent a point to spin that. Sorry, I forgot to show you. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This just isn't looking good here. Cross court 1, 2. This power shot is the only one here, so it's actually going to go 2 to the left. 1, 2. Wow. Well, I'm not doing so good, I think. But you get the picture that as you spend your points, rearrange the cards, you're going to keep trying to push the ball to the right. And then every time you go off the table, you'll flip more cards over and discard 1. So if it ever happens that you flipped over and you kept going, but then the newest card returns it off the table, or for some other reason you can't rearrange the cards so that you don't drop the ball, then your game is over and you've pushed your luck too far. So that's kind of this solo mode. I guess that's it for now. Thanks for checking out the game.